So, Philadelphia winters and driving. Um, People in this city, sometimes when it snows, it's like they've kind of lost their minds as a driver. Like all of the good driving that they did before that they knew, maybe they weren't the best drivers, but whatever they had is now gone because there is now precipitation in a frozen form falling from the sky. So yeah, people start driving like crazily. Um, I didn't grow up here. I grew up in another city that had even more snow than this, and like, but people were okay and like they just dealt with it. I don't know what it is about this city. So yeah, I was on this street called Lincoln Drive, and I'm like on my merry way, probably late to school and to my job because my children don't want to put their shoes on. But anyway, I'm in this lane, and now as it is, people in Lincoln drive kind of crazy. Like there's all these barriers, and people are afraid of the barriers, and then they're afraid of the snow, and so I'm like on the right side, and there's another lane, and then there's other two lanes coming the other direction. So like I'm on the right side. There's a left lane, and I'm just going on my merry way, and then you like go over some grates. Now, granted, it has snowed, and people are like driving all kinds of ways. I hear this boom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like calling on God. I'm praying. I'm like, oh my gosh, my tire, what's happened to my tire? I'm like trying to click through. We have one of those on our dash, like shows all these different messages. So I'm trying to click to find the tire pressure. I'm like, my tire, I'm lost a tire. I'm sure I lost a tire. I'm just on three. I'm on three tires. I mean, the tire pressure was fine. Everything was fine. I think there was a hole next to a grate, like a large hole. And I'm like, what is wrong with the city? What is wrong with the city? Can't they fix the road? So sometimes, I guess people, their fears are like true because, there's on top of the snow, there's like the conditions of the road aren't always the best. So that was something special that happened like a couple weeks ago. And then also after the big blizzard that I talked about in the first one, um, the plows hadn't really gotten out really well. Like my block was like not plowed, and we were kind of just stuck over here, and you just had to hope for the best. People were getting stuck left and right. So I was again driving to work, trying to drop off my kids to school, and I'm on this road that has all of these like ups and downs and dips and here, up and there. And so we're going up, we're coming down, and then we're on this one part about to turn on the curve, and another car is approaching us. This is just like one single lane or another single lane coming the other way, and there's this like pop, and I was in a hit and run. So I called my husband. I'm like freaking out after I dropped my kids off to school, and I'm like, yeah, I was in a hit and run. Our mirror, our driver's side mirror, like they hit it, and our mirrors hit. Now, granted, like they kind of just like when you like are in a crowded place, like let's say a mall or like an amusement park or something, and you kind of like brush up against somebody, and you're like, and maybe it's like a little more like you kind of bumped them, and you're just like, oh, sorry about that. It was kind of like that. um so my mirror got like the outside part of it got a little bit cracked. And I call my husband. I'm telling him, and here he's thinking like the whole mirror is like dangling. He's like, "Do we need to get some duct tape? Was this the kind of situation? Do we have to take the car in?" But there was a crack. So I take it home, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is nothing." Well, and also I had told him like, yeah, the other car, they didn't even stop. Well, truth be told, what I didn't tell him is like I also didn't stop myself because I was trying to get my kids to school and I was running late. So I was participant of the hit and run, and really like I'm sure the other car's mirror is fine. Maybe we were driving, I don't know, 30, 40, 45 miles an hour down the street. They're probably supposed to be driving 25 miles an hour, but everybody's late to work. They probably had to get to work themselves. So yeah, that was the hit and run. And one time, and I was talking with some friends, and like this man said something. He dropped some knowledge on us because we were talking about drivers in this city. Like they just, sorry, I'm recording this, and meanwhile, my children are supposed to be sleeping, and actually, both of them keep coming out of the room. Anyhow, so yes, my friend. So yeah, we were all talking just about the drivers in the city and how, like, sometimes they don't have no sense. They're driving crazy. And, like, you're annoyed. We've all been there. You got a little bit of road rage. You're just a little bit angry because people are cutting you off or doing some things. And Philly, they love to just, like, park their car in the middle of the road and talk to somebody. Meanwhile, you are running late for something. Anyway, he said, just so you know, you are that annoying driver for someone else. Like, you are the bad driver to somebody else. And I was like, wow, I never thought about that. Because you're always thinking about how they're the person and they're the problem. And, like, yeah, I know. I'm sure I've been that for someone else. And then also, like, you kind of have to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, that, like, you don't know what's going on with them, and if they're, what is on their mind, what has their day and their morning been like. I know in my house it's always kind of hectic trying to get out of this house. So yeah, like, it can be tough out here driving. Another time I was taking my kids to school again. I'm always just driving, taking my children to school. So there's this crosswalk person, older gentleman. He's amazing at his job. He gets the kids across the street safely. He takes them from one side to the next corner. Everybody stops. He's got his stop sign up. Everybody's cool and safe. Friday of this week, as I was driving and coming up to the street, this intersection, I noticed that man is not there. And there is, like, a young, maybe middle schooler, high schooler trying to cross the street. And she proceeds to go. Now, granted, like, some cars, like, I'm like, you're going to hit that child, like, somebody's baby, you better stop. And then I see some other gentleman coming. He's, like, parking his car just a few feet from the intersection. He's obviously late. He is running out of his car. He comes up and he's all apologetic to the girl. He gets in the intersection and now he's got 2 stop signs. And I was just like, what is happening right now? This man, he's obviously, like, this is maybe his first day on the job. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't even walk across the whole street. He just kind of goes halfway in, comes back. I'm like, oh, somebody needs to give this man some more training. So anyhow, but, give him the benefit of the doubt. Who knows how he drove there? What happened to him? Yeah, so it can be a lot driving in Philadelphia, but we make it through, and, we do the best that we can, especially when the snow comes out. Oh, this is my last thing that I had to share about all of this. So my husband and I, we went on a date, which was like, hooray, huzzah, we're on a date. This is wonderful. And I drove coming back home, and I was, like, turning out of this parking lot. And now, granted, so the snow had fallen. This is, like, all, like, this season of winter and this, like, crazy snow, which has been great for some things, make some snow angels or something. Anyhow, the plows, they like to put it all in a big heap in places, just to, like, get it out of the way of the street or off the path or whatever. So a lot of times that ends up on a corner. So, like, it's kind of obstructing your view. You kind of got to look around it, and you can't fully see the mass of snow that it really is. So I'm just making a right turn, and, like, I'm like, the snow has reached out and mangled my car, and I'm freaking out and telling myself, oh my gosh, our car. And then later on we check it and it's fine. There's, like, a small dent. Maybe I don't know if that was from the snow or not. And then as the weeks has gone on after Valentine's Day, I've noticed out here in Philadelphia that many cars look like my car. And I was thinking, like, this is kind of like if our cars are actually real transformers, and, like, at night they're sneaking off to get into, like, battles with each other, and they're all losing because they're, like, so many cars are just busted up from the snow, just reaching out its jaggedy grip and just, like, mangling all of our cars. So I guess that brings a full circle that maybe people have every right to actually be afraid of it when they're driving, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what it's going to do to your car. Because, I have a testimony, like, that my car is dented by the snow, maybe, or maybe something else, but probably it was that snow that day. So watch out for the snow, and, drive safe out there on these streets in Philadelphia. And, like, think about maybe somebody has been going through something. You don't know. And yeah, that's all I got.